I will be speaking about EFE in this video. So I will just be talking about how EFE works and how to develop an EFE. So as we know, developing an EFE matrix is a perceptive process which works conceptually very much the same way like creating the IFE matrix. The EFE matrix process uses the same 5 steps as the IFE matrix. So for the EFE, we have the 5 steps listed right here. We have the list factors, assign weights, rate factors, multiply weights by ratings, and total all weight scores. So right now I'm just going to be explaining all 5 steps. For the first steps, which says list factors, the first step is to gather a list of external factors, divide factors into 2 groups, which is opportunities and threats. Then for the second, assign weights. Assign a weight to each factor. The value of each should be between 0 and 1. 0 means the factor is not important, and 1 means that the factor is most influential and a critical one. The total value of all weights together should equal 1. So moving on to the next step, which is rate factors. That's to assign a rating to each factor. The rating should be between 1 and 4. Rating indicates how effective the firm's current strategies response to the factor. 1 equals the response is poor. 2 equals the response is below average. 3 above average. 4 superior. Weights are industry specific. Ratings are company specific. Moving on to the next step, which is multiply weights by ratings. We have multiply each factor weight with its rating, then calculate the weighted score for each factor. Last but not the least, which is the last step, we have the total all weight scores. So for this step, you add all weighted scores for each factor. This will calculate the total weighted score for the company.
So here's our EFE. As you can see, there's a pretty detailed list there of all the factors that we thought really needed to be taken into consideration when it came to determining what we needed to do to ultimately plan our strategy. And just to get a deeper look, I'm going to run you through 5 of them that we thought were the most important. One, kids are moving towards technology-based games. We saw this as a threat and an opportunity because we are a traditional toy maker, but also this is the move of the future, is to use online. So we weighted that as a 0.12 and then rated it a 4 and then averaged out to 4.8. We really do think that this is going to be one of the strongest draws for Mattel when they really get their technology up and going. 2, low customer loyalty with Mattel. We saw this as a threat because people don't view Mattel the same way that they used to. We weighted 0.06, rated it 3, and averaged out to 1.8. Customers don't see Barbie and Hot Wheels or the American Girl dolls the same way. They see it as almost their mom's toy, or their dad's toy. So they don't really associate with it. So they don't really have any brand loyalty towards it, which really is something we could and should fix. 3, Hasbro owns the rights to Disney princesses now. That one huge threat because Disney princesses was a very huge seller for us. One of the most popular dolls there was. With Mattel, we weighted 0.06, rated it 3, and averaged out to 1.8. We really think that things like this, losing deals like this, especially to a main rival like Hasbro, can't happen because it really does bring down our market share. So in the future, hopefully that any big contracts like that we will deal with better than we did with Disney princesses. They can be reached through many new forms of media, mobile ads, YouTube ads. With this push to online, this would be a huge opportunity for us because it really would get those kids that are constantly on their parents' iPads and phones working and going on and interacting with these ads, and hopefully eventually leading to them downloading these games, making these connections. So we rated it at 0.08, rating of 4, and average out's a 3.2. 5, new educational technology, 3D printers in the Fisher-Price brand. There's tons of opportunities there. Weighted 0.04, rating of 3, an average of 1.2. As long as they do it, really. They've made the 3D printer, and kids so far are really liking them. They enjoy the feeling of making something and feel like they're actually creating their own toys. The Fisher-Price brand in educational toys, that's a big development. People really don't want to buy their kids toys that are going to make them feel a certain way, other than good about themselves and smart. And a lot of people are really pushing for smarter toys for early childhood education. And I think that's going to be a really big drive, especially with the Fisher-Price brand, because they do keep a very loyal customer base. And I think if they could corner the market and be the leader in the educational children's toys division, I think that'd be great for them.